Oh man, in this video we need to take a look at Tier token or Celestia. This is a token which debuted a couple of weeks ago at around $2.10, now sitting at $7. This is a token that is getting the attention of traders alike, and this is pumping hugely. But what is this? We need to take a deep dive into this together to take a look at if this token actually has any legs, what is it they do, plus some of the tokenomics. If you appreciate this type of video, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to trade any of these tokens, you can do so using BYBIT or BitGet. Links in the description. We need to start off on their website to find out what is this Celestia, apart from the fact that this token is pumping and traders are loving it and things are going crazy in this FOMO market we are in right now. What is it they're trying to do? Because it's not quite straightforward, because what they're trying to do is introduce a new initiative known as Modular blockchain. Let's take a look at this. Modular blockchains are a new paradigm in blockchain design. Instead of one blockchain doing everything, modular blockchains specialize and optimize to perform given functions. So they want to split it out into modular pieces. This specialization provides breakthroughs in scalability, flexibility, and interoperability, enabling developers to build blockchain applications for mass adoption. What is data availability? Data availability answers the question, has the data for this blockchain been published? It is critical to the security of any blockchain because it ensures that anyone can inspect the ledger of transactions. So what this is basically saying is, look, you can separate all of this away from the execution layer. So you can have your separate execution layer and you can have separate settlement layers and separate DNA and consensus layers. And by doing so, you can have specialists at each of those levels. So Celestia is saying we'll just be specialists in that one area. You guys know what roll-ups are. You guys know what layer 2 solutions are. If you don't, I'll break down the different layer 2 solutions in this video, which I'll link up for you guys. You can get caught up on the different layer 2 scaling solutions. In other words, it's an opportunity for people to scale, right? The whole challenge with blockchains right now is how do we make things more efficient? Instead of you waiting for things to submit on the Ethereum base layer, how can we make things bigger, faster? And that's where you've seen the rise of ZK EVM, you've seen the rise of Polygon Matic, you've seen the rise of Arbitrum, you've seen the rise of Optimism as well, amongst many, many others. So then how does this Celestia stack up? I mean, first and foremost, let's start off with the crazy hype, right? We have seen 160,000 transactions here over the last couple of days on Tier. Now, I want to put that into perspective. So over the first few days when they launched, they had 350,000 transactions in the first 2 days. Then since then, right, over the next couple of weeks, they've only managed another 160,000 transactions. Let's put that into context. Arbitrum has averaged between 550,000 and 920,000 daily transactions over the past 7 days. Okay, so the price has gone absolutely crazy. I'm going to come on to the valuation and what this means, because a lot of people will be shouting right now, yeah, you can't compare to Arbitrum. Arbitrum's been up and running and Tier's just getting started. But we've got to be sensible, right? Because the valuation is dictating something which we're going to have to come on to. The other thing you want to look at in terms of scalability of blockchains, right? And in terms of, you know, how we're making these things faster, is to look at the transactions per second. And Arbitrum sits at 8 transactions per second, whereas Celestia is sitting at just 0.13. That is a huge difference, guys. That's an order of magnitude difference in terms of transactions per second. Again, we're going to have to watch the data to see, does this number start rising? Does it start getting to 5, 6, 7 and competing with Arbitrum at 8, right? We've got to understand that. So this is something really, really important for us to understand. The other thing we need to understand is just 141 million tokens of the 1 billion hard cap are circulating, okay? Very, very important, with the majority of the total supply being locked up until October 24 and October 26. So if you're a trader and you don't mind about these lockups, you're trying to get in and out of the market, these lockups aren't going to affect you, right? You're going to get in the market, you're going to wait for a pump, you're going to trade, you're going to get out. But for people who are looking to long-term hold this project, you have to be aware of when the tokens are going to be released. And if there's going to be an October 24 release, expect a dump. If there's going to be another big release in October 26, expect another dump as well. And so when you look at the tokenomics and you see that already this market cap is sitting at $1 billion, right? So really $1 billion here, straight away, straight out of the bat. $1 billion here market cap on Celestia. But more worryingly, look at the fully diluted market cap of $7 billion given the circulating supply. Okay, so this will start to make you guys wonder, This is the real valuation you guys are buying up. Now, the trading volume has been absolutely insane, right? It's notched down a little bit here at 340 million, but it has been a lot of trading volume, more trading volume than the circulating supply, which is what's creating this pumpability. More people want to get their hands on this token than there are tokens on the market to trade it, right? But it's not, in my opinion, coming from a fundamental perspective here. I don't think the market has fully digested what this modular blockchain means. I think it's caught a bit of a pump, caught some attention in different areas, and that is one of the reasons we're seeing this token pump. But in terms of if this modular thesis can actually run, it's too early to tell, right? When we look at the transactions, still really low. When we look at the transactions per second, still weaker than Arbitrum, right? And that's going to be part of the problem we need to take a look at. Okay, so let's understand in a little bit more detailed what is a modular blockchain, because up until now, pretty much, I mean, we know about layer 2s, we know about rollups, but pretty much the majority of the early blockchains are what is known as monolithic blockchains, where you do all of the things on that one blockchain. So if you take Bitcoin or Ethereum, they carry out all the tasks on those blockchains. So whether it's data availability, consensus, execution, and settlement, it's all done on one place. And that creates what is, lack of efficiency. And it also means it's not modular, right? You cannot plug and play different aspects. What Celestia is saying is, hang on, we can spin it up and allow other people to spin up blockchains whilst using our data availability and our consensus layer, allowing people to not have to worry about those things. They could just build a blockchain using the base layer that is Celestia, which is very, very interesting. So modular blockchains, meanwhile, specialize and optimize to perform a specific function. Blockchain modularity aims to provide the infrastructure that is optimized to help blockchains achieve mass scale. And this is going to be really important, right? If you imagine as everybody starts to want to spin up their own blockchain, you get big corporates, you get companies, you get these people who just all want to spin up a blockchain. They're not going to want to necessarily do it from scratch. They're going to want to take the gold standard of a base layer and just build their own branding on top. Think of it like white labeling a blockchain to make it your own, right? And we're seeing the same with Optimism, right? People are building on the Optimism mainnet, and is that going to be the same way this works here? So the modular design is also intended to make it easier and faster for developers to deploy new blockchains and decentralized applications. Exactly what we just said there. Here is an example of a modular blockchain system. A layer 2, L2 rollup executes transactions on chain, makes transaction data available on Celestia, and depends on Ethereum for settlement. So you can see how the layers are working, guys. So you have your layer 2 at the top, right? The rollup execute transactions on chain, makes that transaction data available on Celestia, which then relies on Ethereum for settlement. So now you're splitting it up, so everybody's taking a part of responsibility instead of one blockchain doing the whole stack from start to end. In terms of the team, I can't get much information about the team. Again, their website's kind of, limited at best. They should have their team on here so I can see who is their team, who are the names, are there any big personalities that are working on this? Again, how many nodes have actually been run? How decentralizes this? It's still really early days with this project just being launched over the last couple of weeks. I want to wait to see more data and do a deeper dive into this. From a technical perspective, guys, I mean, how do you start with this, right? I mean, I'm sitting here on the 4-hourly chart, completely pumping to the upside, riding the EMA ribbon all the way to the upside here. There's no past history for you to really rely on in terms of support and resistance. The only thing I can say is, guys, when you are buying, if you're considering buying, make sure you understand the valuation. Make sure you understand that it's sitting at $1 billion in market cap. And so when you jump on over here into CoinMarketCap and you start searching here on the right hand side just behind my head, let me just move this. Let's go this side. You'll start to see here the market caps of where we start to get $1 billion, right? So if you come here to just here in $1 billion, you're talking the top 50 already in terms of coin market caps. You're already coming in straight out of the bat, buying at an Algorand valuation. To put things into context, you got something like Arbitrum sitting at 1.3 billion. So you're already pretty much there at the Arbitrum valuation, despite, like I've just shown, significantly less volume, significantly less revenue and profitability, because we know Arbitrum is very, very profitable and doing really, really well. We've covered that in previous videos as well. So they've got a lot to prove. It doesn't mean they can't do it. It's just coming out strong in terms of valuation. And so when you then look at it, and we look at the other competitors in the space, Optimism sitting here at naughty of space. Of course, the Coinbase's layer 2 scaling solution Base is built on Optimism mainnet, and many other projects are being built on Optimism. They got good traction. It's sitting at 1.5 billion. So you're only talking kind of like 30-40% more, and you're paying Optimism's valuation, which again has achieved a lot more than Celestia has in its brief history since launch. So definitely the valuation for me is a little bit steep. I personally will not be chasing at these levels. I will be doing more research. I do want to understand more in detail. What are these modular blockchains? Because in theory, how is it much different to kind of what we understand in terms of layer 0, layer 1, and then you're scaling layers on top? How are they actually trying to do this, and how are they actually trying to deliver? Who's actually deploying blockchains on here right now? Is anybody using it, and what are the results they're seeing right now? It's kind of muted activity right now, so it's too early to judge. It's just a technical thesis with a white paper. Yes, there's some people using it, just not enough for me to make a meaningful decision as to whether I want to be adding this over the long period. Definitely one I'm going to continue to watch. Definitely one I'm going to continue to do my research into. Is this a project you like, guys? Are you adding this project currently, or are you trading it? Let me know in the comments below. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.